What's going on, guys? Your favorite realtor, Sarbir, back again with another video, and this time we're stuck in my car driving because very on brand for Vancouver, it's raining outside. But what I'm actually going to do for you guys today is talk about from A to Z the buying process. A lot of the clients I talk to, first-time home buyers, majority, they don't understand the buying process for residential real estate as well as pre-sales here in British Columbia. So that's what I'm going to go through today. So this is the very first thing you should look to do before even starting your home search. You have to talk to your bank or a mortgage broker. Before you even go window shopping, I always recommend it. People think that that's something that they do once they're actually actively looking for homes, once they're ready to put in an offer. But no, it's literally the very first thing you should do. Speak to your bank about what you can afford, what kind of lending you can get, and obviously what the kind of differences are in regards to the interest rates, the types of mortgages available, variable or fixed, etc. And it gives you a good opportunity to learn a little bit about the mortgage side of things and the lending side of things before you start your home search. Now, what I just said right there is a little overly simplified, talking to the bank, talking to the mortgage broker, talking to your financial advisor, etc. But who should you really talk to? In most cases, when you go to the bank, you're speaking to a mortgage specialist. How are they different from a mortgage broker? Those are the two individuals that you should be looking to speak to. I mean, you pick one out of the two, but those are the ones that you speak to in order to figure out what kind of financing and lending options are available and what you can get. A mortgage specialist works for the bank. They will tell you what that specific bank will be able to give you, what your lending options are, and what kind of rate the bank can kind of give you. A mortgage broker, on the other hand, essentially goes shopping for you. They're independent, but they work with every individual bank. And at the end of the day, all banks want a customer. So you can usually get a little bit more leverage from using a mortgage broker because they go shopping on your behalf. Everybody starts bidding and trying to give you the best rate. So I always recommend you speaking to a mortgage broker, but if you have a trusted mortgage specialist or you really like working with a specific bank, you've been a long-time customer, for sure, you can just use them. Now, after you have an idea of what kind of financing you can get, like some of these mortgage brokers and banks, they'll give you kind of a rate hold, which means for 3 months to hold a certain rate, and they'll tell you now you should try and do your shopping. Rates could go up or down. Your rate could expire in 3 months. It will expire in 3 months. But you should go out and start shopping right now. Just because they say that doesn't mean you actually have to do that, but it's good to have that rate hold in place so you know what you can afford. Now that you know what you can afford, you can even start window shopping. You can start your home search in any kind of facet that you kind of want. Now you can, if you know what your wants and needs are in a home, you know what your deal breakers are, you know what your must-haves are, you know exactly which location you want and what type of property you want, you can reach out directly to a realtor to help, start that home search for you guys. What they can do is get you set up on an automated search, figure out exactly what kind of properties are available for you guys, and also give their professional opinion on certain types of properties. Now, if you don't know any of those things and you want to just start window shopping, the next step is essentially going online to websites like roo.ca, realtor.ca, and a bunch of other specific websites where you can look at listings online to see what kind of properties are available, to see what the different price points are, and to see what's kind of happening in different areas and how many listings are popping up in different areas. This is an opportunity, again, for you to kind of distinguish what your wants and needs are, what kind of properties you like, and obviously, since you know what you can now afford, you can look at those specific properties. You're not looking at $1 million homes that are way out of your budget. You're not looking at $400,000 or $500,000 homes because that's what you initially thought you'd only be able to afford. Let's say you can now afford $800,000 townhomes or something like that. So you can include those into your specific search. So this is when you get your window shopping done, start to see what's kind of happening in the different areas, what kind of listings are available, and obviously what kind of properties that you want to look at. And of course, you can skip all that and just go straight to a realtor, have a consultation. The realtor will provide their professional opinion and also get you set up on an automated search to make your life a little bit easier and give you a little extra peace of mind. So now that you've started your window shopping, you have your pre-approval in place, comes the next part. And in regards to that, it's based on the two number one questions that I get from most of my first-time home buying clients, which is, one, what's the fee involved for using a realtor? Do we have to pay you your commission? And two, do I even need to use a realtor to buy a property? Can I just, go out and look for properties and buy it myself if I already have a lawyer that I like? So in regards to the first question, no, it doesn't cost you anything to use a buyer's agent to help you find a home. In most cases, it's advised that you do, because they're looking out for your best interest. They're providing their professional opinion on certain areas, on properties. So it's good to work with a realtor that you trust to help you find a home. At the end of the day, it's just for an extra peace of mind, and it doesn't cost you anything. The seller is the individual. Once you get an offer accepted on a property you love, it's the seller who will pay the buying agent's commission. So in regards to question 2, no, you don't have to use a realtor. I mean, it's always advisable that you do, just because of the points I made in the previous clip. But you can definitely just go out to open houses, go look at properties online, go visit them, contact the listing agent for showings, put in an offer by using either a lawyer or just using the listing agent. However, the listing agent, remember this, isn't going to be, sorry about that. No, we're good. Isn't going to be looking out for your best interest. At the end of the day, the listing agent is looking out for their seller's best interest. So when it comes to negotiating, you don't have a lot of negotiating power. When it comes to putting clauses and terms in the contract to help protect you, they'll definitely do their best to kind of create a win-win situation. However, I still recommend you use a buying agent that's going to use specific clauses and terms in the contract to help protect you against anything. Now, the third point, this is at the point where, you know, the realtor is, you're working with a realtor, they got you set up on a search, you're going to view properties, because that's the next step. You go view properties in person. I always recommend doing this. Don't ever buy properties based off of photos and video tours. Actually go and visit the property in person. First of all, you get a feel for the area, and you get to see when you see the property in person, it's amazing how many times your criteria change. Things that you realized were important to you sometimes aren't as important. Your criteria changes, deal breakers become not so much deal breakers. So it's a good idea to go and visit the property, get a feel for the area. If you're buying, like, say, a apartment or a townhome, you get a feel for the complex, and, you know, it gives you an opportunity to maybe ask the neighbors how much they've liked living here, if they have any issues with the property. You know, at the end of the day, you want to do your due diligence when you're buying a property of any kind, and this just gives you an opportunity to do that. You got your pre-approval in place, you've worked with a realtor for a little while, you've viewed properties in person. What's next? Well, let's say you find a property you absolutely love. Now it's time to put in that offer, and this is when the realtor really goes to work for you. The realtor will put in an offer for you, they'll negotiate on your behalf, and obviously they'll put in clauses and terms and subjects to help protect you, the buyer. And hopefully, if the realtor does their job well enough, your offer will get accepted. And what happens after an offer is accepted? So after your offer gets accepted, it's time for you to remove some of the clauses that your realtor may have put in there to protect you. Now, there's usually 4 main clauses. I mean, this kind of reverts back to putting in that offer initially. There's the subject to finance, subject to home inspection, subject to obtaining insurance on the property, home insurance. Now, the types of clauses that you put in all kind of factor into how strong of an offer you're going to have. I don't want to delve too deep into it in this video, but if you want a stronger offer, obviously leave out as many clauses as you can. And obviously, if you put in a lot of clauses, well, you better come in with a higher amount for the price that you're putting the offer in at. But again, this I'll speak about that in another video in regards to putting in offers and how to win offers and such. This is more so just a breakdown of what kind of happens when an offer is put in place and what's kind of involved with putting in an offer and why some offers get accepted and others don't. Like I said, after your offer gets accepted, you're removing some of those clauses and whatnot. And after those clauses and those subjects are removed, which means you have satisfied all of them, you've got your financing in place, you've done the home inspection, you reviewed the title, and you've got your insurance. All that's done. Well, now the deal is essentially firm because you're going to pay your deposit next, which is held in trust by your realtor's brokerage. After that, you essentially have a firm deal, and you just have to wait till the closing and possession date. What are the closing and possession dates? Well, the closing date is the date where you sit with the lawyer or notary, sign off on a bunch of papers, and essentially the title is transferred into your name. You are now the sole owner of that property. And the possession date, usually it takes place 24 hours after, however, it can be set to different dates, whatever kind of works for you, is the date where you get the keys handed off to you. So that's when you can actually take possession of the property, you can start moving your things in. And that's essentially it, guys. That's the buying process. After you've taken possession of the property, you've completed the buying process. And, you know, from starting off with just getting your pre-approval in place or finding out how much you can afford, to window shopping, to having a consultation with a realtor and having them set up searches and take you on property tours, to getting your offer accepted. There are a bunch of steps involved. However, it's not as difficult as I may have made it sound right there. It's most of the time, it's a streamlined process. The realtor does make that, process easier for you, but I just want to make sure everybody understands what is involved in the buying process, because everybody has questions in regards to, oh, what do I need to do before I start searching for a home? If I work with a realtor, does it cost me any money? How's their commission paid? And obviously, when it comes to looking at properties and areas, well, what kind of research do I have to do? Most of the time, your real estate agent will do the heavy lifting for you and also provide their professional opinion and insight on which type of properties are the best, which areas are the best, and what they would recommend. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're still having trouble on, figuring out what your wants and needs are, what the best areas to move to, what type of property is best suited for you, or you don't know where to start when it comes to your home search, but you are looking to buy your first property, well then just give me a shout. I'm more than happy to help. I've helped move plenty of first-time home buyers into the perfect property, put them into the right situation. So don't hesitate, feel free to reach out. I'm always available, and I'll see you guys on the next video.